Let's talk about the new changes that were made to Metroin 2.0. If you watched the Autopia 2.0 simple overview video, you know that it reflected on Metroin 2.0 as being not well planned and rushed to development, which resulted in many construction errors and design flaws. These errors include, but are not limited to, blank announcements, missing safety barriers, incorrect or missing signs, and even unfinished structure components. So starting in February 2026, upon the discovery of those problems, ODOT performed many upgrades to the system. These include route changes, station refurbishments, station position adjustments, new stations, station removals, and more to fix some of those issues and improve the overall quality and experience. Take a look at the original 2020 map for a moment. I know it looks very messy, but this is because there were two routing rules set. Number 1, lines can only interchange with another line no more than once, and number 2, each line must have at least one terminal that doesn't interchange. However, these rules resulted in some lack of convenient transfers and congestion. These new changes broke the rules, so my old self is rolling in his grave right now. So, we'll go over all of the route changes made for each line and explain the before and after, but let's start with overall changes. When Metroin 2.0 opened on April 4th, 2020, the system had 81 stations in 10 lines. Now it has been reduced to 80 stations in 9 lines. At every station, the announcement system has been upgraded to be color-coded, and the commands were switched from Say to Telraw. Every announcement system in all versions of Autopia is being upgraded to a color-coded Telraw announcement system, which was first introduced in Metroin 4.0. This will be a topic of a future video. Every interchange station entrance has been redesigned with new bedrock entrances and walls, which converts these separated entrances into a ground-level concourse, as it just seems really weird to have stations standing only on scaffolding. Now for the changes on each line. The central line saw very significant route changes. There used to be 14 stations from Holborn in the west to Abria in the east. Now there are still 14 stations, but it has been rerouted in the west from Sanford south to terminate at Autopia International Airport. Yes, this means that the central line took over the route of the former airport line. This was done to reduce the number of transfers passengers have to take in this area. Holborn Station was relocated and rebuilt as a local-only station between Sanford and Medina. Moving further east, Atherton Station permanently closed as it is too close to neighboring stations and the Metropolitan Line tracks, but it has been moved to a different line. More on that later. Finally, just east of Union Station, Watlington Station became a second interchange station with the Circle Line to add a connection from the east to Union Station. The Circle Line used to have 12 stations, and now it has 13. The extra station added was Watlington, which connects with the Central Line as I mentioned earlier. Just north of it, Granada Station became an interchange station, a second connection with the Northern Line after Yorkshire to add another connection from the east to Union. The Southern Line still has 13 stations between Medina in the west and Passaic in the east, but there were some new station changes. Between Medina and Brisbane stations, there used to be a station named Arsenal, which interchanged with the airport line. That station was removed when the Central Line rerouted to the airport, and Medina Station was repositioned to be near the former site of Arsenal. Moving east, the Southern Line was awkwardly routed to Tregurtha Station first, and then Malmesbury Station going eastbound. The route was straightened, connecting with Malmesbury first, then Tregurtha onwards to Passaic. Both of those stations had to be repositioned to compensate for the new route. It also allowed for the addition of a new station between Cedarwood and Malmesbury named Moorgate. But wait, you might be thinking, isn't there already a Moorgate station on the Northern Line? And the answer is yes, but not anymore. More on that later. The District Line didn't get too many changes. It used to have 9 stations from Sutphin in the southwest to Plaistow in the northeast. However, Plaistow Station permanently closed because it was too close to some other stations and it seemed like just a waste of space. So the District Line now terminates at Union Station, leaving only 8 stations on the line. The Plasto station name was reused on a different line. More on that later. There were no changes made to the Headquarter Line route. If anything, the only change is that Owen HQ Station was renamed to Polara HQ, also known later as Polara Pacific HQ, but that was done 3 years ago. The Northern Line used to have 14 stations from Morden in the west to Camden in the east. Now it has 15 stations, making it the third longest line in the system. Let's start by addressing Moorgate. This station was renamed Aylesbury, and it became an interchange station with the Underground Line, which now terminates here. This portion of the Northern Line between Sentosa and Yorkshire was very isolated, so this new transfer was added for convenience. Moorgate would be reused as a Southern Line station. Moving east, a second interchange with the Circle Line was built at Granada Station, which I explained earlier. The Metropolitan Line remains the longest line in Metrowind 2.0. It now has 18 stations, previously 17. This line saw some significant changes in the southeast region. To start, the eastern terminal used to be named Toronto, but it has been renamed to Plasto, reusing the old District Line terminal name. There are now 2 interchange stations between the Metropolitan Line and the Underground Line, Bayswater and the brand new Ingleside station for extra connectivity. Between those 2 stations, Malmesbury and Willowbrook stations swapped positions as part of the Southern Line rerouting. This allowed Plymouth Station to be repositioned as there is now more space. The Underground Line saw the most significant changes in the system. It used to have 14 stations between Aylesbury and Fargo, but it now has 16 stations, making it the second longest line. The northwest portion used to run south from Fenway to Aylesbury Station, stopping at Keele in between, but the District Line shared a similar route in the area and had no connections. Therefore, it rerouted north to connect with the Northern Line at Moorgate Station, which was renamed Aylesbury. Keele Station was also repositioned for the new route, and the old stations remain abandoned. Moving southeast, every local-only station between Bayswater and Ingleside was rerouted far south, as this area was heavily congested. This also allowed for a new station between Mimico and Kennedy named Atherton, reusing the old Central Line station name. Kennedy Station became unique, becoming the only local-only station on the line with an express route to have a center platform as opposed to parallel platforms. This begs the question, where did the express tracks go here? Aha! Well, the express route took a detour running below bedrock, yes, that is possible in this world, between Bayswater and Ingleside, which actually shares the same route with the Metropolitan Line in this area. This express routing technique isn't exactly new. If you recall from Metrowind 1.5, the Green Line Express also took a detour between Yorkshire and Fenway stations from the local route. Other than that, overall, all of the tunnels have been upgraded with stone walls and lights for cleanliness as part of the original plan. All local-only stations were redesigned with a new entrance design and bedrock walls. Stations with center platforms were also redesigned, once again converting the separated entrances into an outdoor concourse. Finally, on the Dimension Line, nothing has changed other than the station upgrades that I mentioned earlier. Overall, this is the Metrowind map before upgrades, and here is the map after the upgrades. It might still not look perfect, but this is a massive improvement. There may be some more changes made in the future if needed, and even though the station number decreased a little, the convenience has increased. And there you have all the changes made to Metrowind 2.0 in 2026.